Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Not the usual opening. Right to me. I'm confused. I'm confused this morning. I tried something new. I want to tell you about it as soon as people start getting here. In the meantime, welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch, and let's get started on this Monday, December 15th, and drink it if we got it. That's good. Okay, it may be a little confusing for everybody this morning. It certainly is for me. I don't know if it was such a good idea or not, but I've noticed in the past month or so, Kelsey has been using this new feature in StreamYard that lets you broadcast both a portrait and a landscape version. And I have no idea, but I'm going to show you. I'm showing you my monitor here. And let me turn this off. There we go. This is actually what I'm broadcasting on the landscaping one. And this is what I'm broadcasting. It's a little behind the times there. Let me bring it up to date. This is what's going out on the, which is not good, That's the supposed portrait version, landscape version, portrait version. It's no good. It's no good. For those of you that are watching on the portrait version, on the landscape version, this is stupid. Please go find the portrait version if you don't mind. It says I've got 24 people watching on the landscape version. And 15 watching on the cell phone or the portrait version, for a grand total of 37, according to my StreamYard. The main problem I see with these two different versions is they each have a separate chat. So people watching the landscape version are not going to see the chats from the people in the portrait version, unless I go ahead and turn on this thing in StreamYard, which combines both of those chats, and put it up on the screen. So over there on the screen, I'm showing the chats from both. Now, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this again. This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. I've never had problems at all watching the widescreen version of any YouTube video on a cell phone. It takes care of it. But trying to separate and broadcast two differently formatted versions of the same show with separate chats, when the whole purpose, I think, and I hope Kelsey gets this message too, the whole purpose of the same thing is that we're one community. We're not a Old Guy Carnivore cell phone community and an Old Guy Carnivore widescreen community. It's silly. It's silly to separate the two chats. Now, if you're not doing a video that doesn't involve community and people chatting and coming together, great, separate them into two separate live streams. But for the purposes of what I do and what Kiltz does, or anybody that has a carnivore or any community event on a live stream, for God's sakes, do not use that new StreamYard feature of separating the two and having to format them all differently. Stupid. It's counterproductive. I think it's just going to create a lot of misunderstanding. So if you've logged into the cell phone version, let me see how many people are over there. 14 of them, 16 of them in the cell phone version, including Tuca, Bride's Biscuits, Super Tunes, Carnivore, Jerry, Anthony is over there. Don Chagra's over there. That's Lori Weitzel is tuned in on that. You're not going to see the chat. So log out of this one. Go find the landscape one if you want. And I'll just try to get through this. I'll try to get through this. So meanwhile, what's going to happen is I'm going to show you the chat on the screen from the actual real version, landscape version. And if you don't see your name in there, it's because you're logged into the other version. I have no idea why this would make any sense. But I figure, well, Kiltz must, and Ollie must know something I don't know. I'm going to give it a try this morning. And lo and behold, it did create two separate videos, each with their own chat. And even though StreamYard, let me show you this window here. This is, that's got to be confusing to you, but this is what I'm looking at right here. And this is the chat behind me that StreamYard takes both of the chats and puts them together. And you can see some of them after the timestamp have a little cell phone looking symbol and some of them don't. Like John Beatty is watching this on a cell phone version. Donna Ray is watching it on the widescreen version. I get to see all your chats, but the only way I've got to put them up on the screen is like this and turning this on. And that's all you're going to see of the chat. I don't like it. I don't like it. So bad idea. Bad idea. Total of 62 people here. So many of them are probably scratching their head going, what the hell is going on? Got 47 people watching in the widescreen version, 14 watching in the cell phone version. So let's hope that all those people watching the cell phone version figure out how to navigate it through this morning. And I will never, ever, I promise, do that again. I need a drink. So all that being said, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the consolidated chat that I can see, but you can't. And welcome everybody. Mary M, first one in, checked in yesterday at 9:30 last night. Rick checked in from Miami. Hiya, Rick. Lady June checked in over there at 1 o'clock in the morning in England. Gator Lips too. How you doing? Good morning, Mitch and all Mitch Fits. Google morning, she says. Okay. Myra's here. How you doing? Good to see you. And the first one to check in on the cell phone was Mike Seeley from Tampa Bay. And I can see on the chat which version that they're using, but this is getting both of them. So I shouldn't miss anybody this way. Lucy Work. How you doing, Lucy? Good morning to you. Holy mackerel. Oh, God. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. I will never do this again. Ever. Wow. This got dumped out of StreamYard for some reason. Holy cow. All right, where was I? Maybe some days are better just staying in bed. Anyway, Lucy says feels like -6. It's 11 degrees. Very windy. It's windy down here in Florida, but it's 65 degrees out here this morning. But we got about 25, 30 mile an hour winds, and it feels chilly. But this is quite a cold front that up there in the panhandle of Florida, it's 20 something degrees right now. Terrible. Mike Seeley, good morning from Melbourne. Good to see you, Michael. Good to see you. Barry Simon, hiya, Barry, good morning. Mitch and everyone. Barry's turning me now into a coffee connoisseur. I'm getting all kinds of fancy bean grinders and fancy coffee and stainless steel K-cups to go in my Keurig machine and little filters to go in the little K-cups. And this is the last of my old coffee here. I got the new coffee came in, and I'll let you know all about my coffee adventures, trying to make it healthy coffee without all the crap and carcinogens and microplastics and everything else, and yet still smell and taste great. So we'll see. Maybe a whole new hobby for me. Yes. Okay, and we have here CB Carmack. Good morning, good Monday morning to you. Good to see you. Rick checked in at 7:01, and the first CB, yes sir. CB, a winner this morning at 7 o'clock, followed by Rick and Edward Renner. Good morning to you. Captain Erica, Steve Rogers, superhero. Good morning. And Donna Ray, how are you? Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee, and Larry Ryan is here. And Juliet Edens, good morning to you, Juliet. Aaron is here. Booby Goats, good morning. Lizzie, hi, you, Lizzie. Happy Monday. And Rick is talking about his new dump find, a new stereo, a step up. Congratulations, Rick. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah, CB says, see, I wonder why my chat disappeared when I switched from laptop to cell phone. Yeah, well, the problem is, I don't know if it automatically displays only the cell phone version when you're on a cell phone, because I was always seeing both of them up there in the thumbnails. And you have to be careful, and you can see the difference because after the title, there's a little tiny picture of a cell phone. And that's how you tell a cell phone version. But stupid StreamYard, no use whatsoever for that, for this type of genre or live stream. It's just confusing as hell. And it makes the viewer counts look lower. So people think when they log into one or the other that nobody's really interested. I've got a total of 70 viewers now, but only 54 showing up on the widescreen version. And 17 on the cell phone. Yeah, this is going to screw it up. This is going to screw it up. We'll just keep going. I'm on my Lizzie says, I'm on my cell phone over here, and I just got a text. From my daughter. Tell me she's been up. She's already been to the gym and wishes me a happy Monday. How about that? Brenda McIntyre. Hi, Brenda. How you doing? I am. We have a Yiddish word for it. Verblunged. Verblunged means so confused. So confused this morning. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, I don't care for it. I like this platform. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, well, I have to really work hard when I try to configure the screens. When I try to configure the screens like this one with the chat up on the right, I can control it, but you have to go in there and configure two separate screens, but I can't control it during the broadcast. You configure it one way or the other way. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe if I had a bunch of guests, it'd be a different story. But I see no reason to have to broadcast this stream in a vertical format. All the cell phones all the widescreen version would be cut off the sides. I don't know. Stupid idea for me. But I had to try it. I thought, well, maybe there's something to it. Every time I created a new stream, StreamYard would put up a big thing in front of me. Now, fabulous new feature. You must try that. Thank you. Thanks for nothing, StreamYard. Shayar. Good morning. Good morning to you. Don Shire says, much better now. Thank you. Thomas is here. Thomas, Target Prime Rib, how you doing? Thank you so much. Maybe I ought to just end this stream on the. No, I can't do that either. I can't just end the stream on the cell phone version. I'd have to. I only have one button that would end both of them. Now, well, we'll suffer through it. Kilty doesn't, Aaron. Kilty doesn't. I've been watching that. You get more views on the landscape, always. Sometimes two, usually on when all the final count is in, it's about 2-1. But during the stream itself, when it's live, it's 4 or 5-1. I was looking at Kelsey this morning. He had almost 4 or 5 times as many people watching on the widescreen, which I think is smart. I think we ought to, for anything that involves a chat, and this is any of you guys that do live streams and think that you want to use this split personality version of StreamYard, just remember each of the 2 separate audiences will not see the chat from the other audience, and you're screwing yourself. You're separating your audience into 2 halves, putting a wall up between them where they can't chat with each other. Even though you see in StreamYard the combination of both chats, your audience doesn't see that. And they can't chat. And that's why people come to these things, to chat with their friends. Why would we want to segregate? Next thing you know, the cell phone people will wage war on the widescreen people. Like every other time you separate human beings into two different groups, you end up with people hating each other. Tommy Bitard says, I don't come here to hear about kilts. Seems like he's the subject of everyday conversation. Well, I was only referring to kilts this morning because of the subject that I'm talking about. I am not talking about kilts. I'm not talking about what he's saying or anything. So I'm sorry, Tammy. I'm sorry. I can't please everybody. God, please, don't find fault with me. You know I don't like it. God, this is really created. Really created. Really started a firestorm here. Yeah, I'm afraid, Sandy, I'm afraid this is going to dominate this morning. And there's where I disappeared. Poof, he disappeared. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Magician. He's going to be mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I just too complicated. Okay, well, let's just get back to it. Hello to everybody else that I didn't say hi to. If you have questions, put them in the chat for me. I'll try to get to it. And if you don't see your friends in the chat, they're probably in the other chat. So good luck for that. Now, there may be some beneficial reason to this. Maybe because it's a cell phone version, the overall view count may be higher, which may be important to some YouTubers. It may be that somehow in the YouTube algorithm, the fact that there were 2 streams, separate and individual streams actually created, maybe the fact that you have more total streams out there, maybe that helps you and boosts the algorithm. And overall, maybe it's something I should do, but I can't do it. I mean, it's stupid. It goes against the entire purpose of having a community live stream like this in the morning. Yeah. Keto Rockstars is here. Hi, Mitch and friends. How you doing? Bailed out on the Bearded Spock Chat. I don't know what that means, Bride's Biscuit. Uh, Carnivore Jerry. Hiya, Jerry. How you doing? Rick's still talking about his new stereo. That's great. Let me see if there's any questions. Not a one. Not in this chat. And this is the chat. The one from the wide stream is the chat that I've actually integrated into my pictures. So the other chat is nowhere to be found. I do have it up on the other screen. It's not too bad. It looks like this. See it there? That's what it looks like. And it's got the chat. There's 17 people over there. 18 people now. So people are chimed in, and but I don't like the way that looks. I like this version better. And especially if I put the chat, I'd have to leave it on this window if I was going to let it split it up and put the chat up that way. But I can't scroll around in that chat. And that's pretty well fixed, and it's just going to keep putting the newest ones at the bottom, I think. Yeah, John Beatty was the newest one. Oh well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It is Monday, though. It is Monday, and hope you all had a nice weekend. The weather was pretty nice. I tried something yesterday that I hadn't done before. I went out for a walk down the street with no walker, with just my cane, and I really concentrated on holding it up off the ground. So I basically went for the longest walk that I have so far with no support, because I didn't use the cane. I just had it with me for safety. And stretched out, and it felt really, really good. So I'm gonna keep doing more and more of that. I think that might be the best type of rehab or physical therapy for me. Spanky's here. Hi, Spanky. How are you? About to head to bed. Been up all night. A touch of insomnia. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. My BB, and he says, thanks for discussing the two types of YouTube formats. It doesn't get any simpler. It only gets more complicated. The more things. It's a question from Jerry. Question: do you buy Hanukkah or Christmas gifts for people, or is cash king? I've never been a gifter. Really, I would give basically my kids. We mostly have an agreement. I don't want gifts, and I don't want to have to give. I got that from my father. I know that's, but not being a religious guy, not celebrating these seasons, being as cynical as hell about the commercialism of it all. My father had a drugstore. He was anti-greeting card because he could see how it was the greeting card companies that were basically just stealing money from people, playing on their desires to fit in and do things that make people feel good. So they invented holidays. They called them Hallmark holidays: Mother's Day, Father's Day, this day, that day, the other day. They were invented by the greeting card companies as an excuse to guilt people into buying. And I grew up in a business environment where we all recognized it for what it was, and we kind of basically said we don't want to participate in that. not that we don't want to give, because we do give to people, but we want to choose the occasion to give. We don't want to have to give because some third party somewhere dictated that this is the time to give. So that way, when you did give something, it was from your heart, and it didn't have to wait to Christmas or birthday or Mother's Day or Father's Day, National Pets Day, whatever. And we just kind of, as a family, always said, we just give all year long to each other. We constantly do things for each other. We don't need a special occasion. And I've lived that way all my life. My daughter, however, likes to buy me Christmas presents because she likes to shop. I try to talk her out of it, but she accuses me of taking her fun away. Well, far be it from me to want to keep my kids from having fun. So no, I'm not stingy. I'm not selfish. I used to give some cash to the grandkids when they were younger. But, life is a two-way street. Life is a two-way street. I have grandchildren, but I may as well not. It's sad. I tell my son, I may as well not have grandkids. He says, yeah, I feel the same way. They ignore me too. Don't expect them to acknowledge your presence or even say hello to you when you come over. That's the way it is today with most of these kids. They're buried nose deep in their cell phones 24/7 and their own lives and their own social circles and social media. They got no time for their parents. I have no idea what my grandkids are doing at any given time. I text them on their birthdays, and I get a text back that says, thanks. I don't get any texts from them on my birthday. They don't even know they got a grandfather. And you know what? That's fine. But it's a two-way street, everybody. You want people to care about you, care about them. Show them you care. So holidays for me, if nothing else, are depressing more than joyous. They just point out what's wrong with people. Now, don't let me I'm not Grinch or a Scrooge. Have fun, enjoy it. Enjoy your family. Go out and buy all kinds of presents. I kind of envy people the ability to just do that without going through the mental exercise of seeing just how they're being used and abused by all the things in this world, the same people that are selling us the junk food. It's all about money. And that's nothing new. They've been talking about that at Christmas time ever since I was a kid. The reason for the season, how commercialized it's getting, and trying to get people back to the traditional reasons that they celebrate Christmas, not just about shopping. At any rate, that's part of being old. Get off my lawn. You become a real cynic as you begin to detect the real patterns of everything in this world. Rick says, I am Scrooge. I can imagine, Rick. I can imagine. Yep, my gifts I broke my back for come around when they're bored and think they have to because it's a holiday. F them kids, huh? Says Lizzie. Yeah. More of us are getting cynical these days. It's obvious and it's out there. And the hypocrisy and the propaganda, it just gets more and more obvious, and yet more and more people are taken in by it. I don't know. I'm supposed to be. Let me talk about this a little bit. Since this live stream has no direction, and no purpose, and about 25 minutes more to go. Is anybody, and this is a hell of a thing for me to say. Of course, it's been a rough year for me. Since February, I've been in stroke recovery mode, as you all know. And if any of you don't know that, surprise, you must be brand new to this channel. I was thinking it's very hard to keep 100% positive all the time. So it's been a down year for me. It's been a down year, rightly so. It's very hard to be joyous and happy and loving life when you can't walk, or you can't do anything, or you're housebound all the time, and you're managing to claw back inch by inch. And that fighting depression has shown in all my YouTube activity throughout the year. It's shown with impatience for nonsense, the absolute abhorrence of any abuse or criticism at all. I'm amazed that my channel has survived, to tell you the truth. I have absolutely no desire anymore to make long form videos and go through all of that, only to be, I use the word, crashingly disappointed with the lack of interest. And that was especially brought home to me when I tried to start a really what I thought was going to be meaningful series about addiction, which I still believe is the root of all of our problems and the reason why the human race will never heal itself. Sorry, Curry. And the big food companies will never stop poisoning us. And Big Pharma will never stop hooking us on lifelong treatments for the problems caused by big food and their poison and our addiction. There's no other explanation for it that makes any sense. And any of the people out there in our space who claim that it's not a problem, open your eyes. I understand it's not positive, 100% positive all the time, but it is the problem. I see it in myself. I see it in every member of my family. I see it in all my neighbors. They cannot stop eating these poisonous processed foods. And every day, the selection of them grows. The retail space in the grocery stores and Sam's Club gets larger. The meat departments get smaller. It's out there, it's right in front of your face. For God's sakes, stop denying it. But people don't want to hear that because they're addicts. Addicts only want to hear that it's okay to feed their addiction. That's why they believe all this add carbs bullshit, because that's what they want to believe. I want to believe. Somebody please tell me, give me some convoluted excuse to use for myself that I can eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's twice a day and still be as healthy as I could be if I was on a zero carb diet. So what we've got is a bunch of sick people because of the fact that they're addicts, are looking for any excuse to ignore all the healthy diet advice and go back to eating the shit that they're used to eating. That is the problem. That's the main problem. That's what caused the problem. And we're a nation of addicts. And everybody who is metabolically ill in this country, which they say is 80% or more, is an addict. Face it, we're an addict. And not just to one thing. We're addicted to coffee. We're addicted to nicotine. We're addicted to alcohol. But we are primarily being killed by our addiction to sugars. I've explained why that is. It's perfectly understandable and explainable. It has its roots in evolutionary survival. You can't overpower it. You can't outthink it. It is an instinct, but you may as well try to ignore your sex drive. Ignore the fact that you have to breathe. And yet I can't gain any traction whatsoever. And that's been bothering me. And it's been a bad year. And every day I've talked about this, I get up and say, why am I doing this? I know what the problem is. I think I can give people helpful solutions. Point out the pitfalls. Stop falling for the noise of propaganda that's designed to play on the fact that you're an addict. The carnivore space is a vast wasteland of nonsense now. I'm sorry. I can't watch any carnivore videos anymore. And I say to myself, why am I in this carnivore space? So I've decided, and I haven't decided when I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to change the name of my channel. I'm going to get the word carnivore out of there. My life, my interests, my knowledge goes into so many areas other than carnivore, and I'm running out of what to say. Identifying this as a carnivore thing. It's not just carnivore. Because what is carnivore? Anyway, there's 100 different versions of it out there. I'm going to change my channel name to my name, Mitch Weiss, and then I'm going to put OGC after it. There's 3 letters. I'm still going to be a carnivore channel. I'm still going to talk about diet. When I feel like it and get out of this funky mood I'm in, I'm going to start doing cooking videos and things like that again. But I want to reserve the right to not limit myself just to carnivore content. That may be a mistake. I don't care. I don't care if my whole channel goes away. Honest to God, sometimes I think my life would be 1,000% better if I didn't need to even watch YouTube, let alone create content for it anymore. It has gotten that stupid to be a content creator on YouTube and make no money, spend money and do all this work to be abused like we get, and to have to worry about the fact you might say something wrong and violate those sacred community guidelines. So I'm going to change the name of my channel to Mitch Weiss OGC. So if you see that, it's still me. Morning Coffee with Mitch still applies. The private community is still going to be there. In fact, the nice thing about the private community that we have is we talk about most things other than carnivore. We've talked carnivore to death. What the hell else is there for us to say? Eat meat. Make sure you get enough fat. Don't eat 6 meals a day. See you tomorrow. And after almost 3 years of this, I'm running out of words other than those things. So we need to talk about other things. I think we want to talk about other things. Pond Apple says, don't change your handle. You've worked hard for it. Prepper Princess is no longer Prepper, but retains her very large. I don't care if I lose my following. Honest to God, it means nothing to me to have subscribers. Nothing. They don't follow me. There's 84 people here. I got 45,000 plus subscribers. There's 87 of them are here. That subscriber number is worthless on YouTube. It doesn't figure into the algorithm. It doesn't matter how they promote your channel. YouTube has changed dramatically over the past 3 years. I am going to change my name. I'm still a carnivore, but so is Robert Kiltz, MD. That's his channel name. So is Sean Baker. That's his channel name. So is Anthony Chafee, his channel name. You don't have to have carnivore in the name of your channel, and that is killing me because YouTube sees that and holds it against me because their algorithm is programmed to slow down and throttle those channels that are pushing this dangerous and deadly anti-society diet of not eating fresh fruits, vegetables, healthy whole grains, like the federal government and the medical community tells us to do. We are rebels and dangerous, and we don't need their help. So the carnivore channels that have the most subscribers and are doing the best seem to be the ones without carnivore in their name. And I think I need to do that. I think in the long run, if my channels are going to grow, that's a smart move. And keep the word carnivore out of the titles of the videos and out of the descriptions, because that does nothing except punish you. Sad, isn't it? Donna Ray. I try to breathe coffee instead of swallow it. Why do I do that? I don't think I lose anybody because my channel, when you change your channel name, all your subscribers stay. Everybody knows me as Mitch anyway. So I've had my name up there for a long time now. Mitch Weiss. So people get used to seeing my last name. So it'll say Mitch Weiss, OGC in capital letters. I'll let people try to guess what that means. OG, everybody talks about OG. The original meaning of that, I think, was original gangster. But it also means old guy. And OGC, a lot of people refer me by that. Get off my lawn with Mitch, says Spanky. No, I think just my name. Just my name. And it's still going to be a carnivore channel. We're still going to be primarily talking about carnivore. But I need to divorce my official YouTube appearance from words like keto and carnivore, because I really believe when I see the videos of my feed that get total stupid nonsense that get hundreds of thousands of views because YouTube pushes them out there. Maybe the biggest mistake I'm making is I'm trying to appeal to smart people. And as the ratio of morons to smart people keeps increasing, my audience keeps decreasing. Jury says, next, I believe the coach names will be dropped too. Yeah, I think that Look, I don't mean any disrespect to the coaches that are out there, but I've seen a lot of videos of these coaches. I've seen so much expressed that I just completely disagree with. Just, I don't know shit about this stuff other than what I figured out over a lifetime and applied what I know about physiology and biochemistry to all the advice that you hear. You hear so much advice that's conflicting. When you throw the word coach in front of your name and you presume to guide people, your doctors can't even do that. Guide people properly through good health. You can tell them the basics, but I think that the fact that there are so many people calling themselves coach now, I don't think it's helping anybody as far as YouTube growth is concerned. What you may be helping a lot of people, and you may be smart as hell, and you may be God's answer to what everybody needs. But YouTube is never going to know that. And I think that I agree with Jerry that the word coach, I don't think it's very helpful. And I don't think it really attracts. Now, what it means to me is something that would be insulting for me to say to you. And I won't do it because it'll insult you. Because I know you've worked hard getting, going to those coaches courses and all that stuff. But if I were to tell you what goes through my mind when I see the word coach in anybody's name, you would never watch me again. And I know that. But I can't help with what I know and what I've heard about the opinion that I have. So don't take this personally, but I just, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea to give people advice on YouTube in any shape or form. So basically, if it's not a good idea to give advice on YouTube, and I don't give advice, you don't hear me giving medical advice or even diet advice. I talk about what I do and whether I think it worked or not. And I leave it at that. And that's the only advice. I don't tell people not to take statins. I tell you, I won't take them because I think that it's a hoax. But I'm not telling you stop taking your statins. You do whatever you want. It's not my responsibility. I don't want the responsibility. And if you're a coach, you shouldn't want that responsibility too. Well, how would you feel if you told somebody to do something and it killed them or it hurt them? None of us want to have that responsibility. I wish the doctors had that responsibility and realized that most of the advice that they're giving to people, especially in the nutrition department, is hurting them and killing them. But John Logan says, question, how about Mitch's potluck? Now, I don't think anybody would know. I think just my name. I don't think my channel name needs to. I think it's better if your channel, in this case, if my channel name just is me, because that's what my channel is about. It's about me. I may seem a little conceited, but it's not me, my experiences. I've had such tremendous life experience. I have so many insights into so many things that I would love to share. People don't have to agree with me, but I have so many things I've learned, and I'm confident that I've finally found the truth about these things, especially when it comes to root causes and how to fix it. I want to be able to talk about all of that stuff without having somebody come in and say, I thought this was a carnivore channel. I'm the hell with you. I'm not going to talk. I'm subscribing, But That's my biggest problem is I can't tolerate ridiculous people. And more people are losing their minds these days. Look around. Look around. It's obvious. So I'm probably going to be changing my channel name. My email will stay the same. OldGuyCarnivore@gmail.com. I'm not going to change that. I don't know if YouTube will change my @name if it's Mitch Weiss OGC. Maybe people will think the letters OGC mean something like a degree. In which case I can say I have letters after my name. Reading chat. Hey, Peter's here. How you doing, Peter? Good to see you. Papa Carnivore, yeah. Oh, they're all talking about eating cannolis and chews and 2 grams of carbs. Changing you. Change. CB. CB's got the greatest sense of humor. Honest to God. That's funny, CB. Are you listening? Are you listening, Peter? He says, change your YouTube name to Papa Carnivore. I love it. I love it. That's funny. That's funny. And Peter says, as Kilt says, it was not a cheat, it was a treat. Well, you can already hear me commenting about that one. One of the biggest, oh God, I'm sorry. I'll get going and I'll be talking for half an hour about how we've been conditioned since birth to view those things that we become addicted to as treats instead of poison. Because when you use the word treat, it means you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve a treat, little Johnny. Good boy. Good boy. Here's a treat for you. Some candy. I think it's exactly wrong. What does the word cheat mean? You've broken the rules. Cheating is bad. Cheating will get you expelled from school. Cheating can ruin your life. If you don't intend to live by a certain framework or set of rules, don't consciously make the commitment to yourself that you are. And when you break any of those rules, you have cheated. Nobody is forcing you not to eat this crap. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's standing in your house holding a gun to your head. You've arrived at this yourself. Now, I'm preaching to the choir here, but this is the way people ought to be conditioned. If you decide that you can't eat that sugar because it sabotages you, your addiction takes over, you binge, you're not happy with your weight, your health, your sickness, your diabetes, you're just not happy, you know you need to fix it. So you consciously decide to adopt this new set of rules, this new paradigm. If you don't stick to it, you are cheating. You're not cheating anybody else but yourself, but you're still cheating. To call it a treat is ludicrous. because a treat insinuates that you did something good and deserve to be rewarded for it, which is the furthest from the truth. You're giving into your addiction. That's not a treat. And when you're done friggin' treating yourself to the point where you can't move anymore and get your conscious mind back, what do you feel? You feel ashamed of yourself. What was I thinking, you say? That's the reality of it. The last thing in the world you deserve is a reward because you have broken your own self-imposed regimen. So, I'm sorry. Don't say things like it's not a cheat, it's a treat. That is stupid. It's a cheat. Stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourselves. And when you see somebody else fooling themselves, tell them you're fooling yourself. Because words do matter. Words do matter. Maybe a couple of grams of carbs won't hurt you. If it doesn't trigger an addiction or binging or falling off the wagon or more constant cravings for more and more of that stuff, go right ahead, have a few carbs. People can. They're lucky. They're lucky. I'm not addicted to alcohol. I could drink a beer and that'd be the end of it. I don't, but I could. Interestingly enough, people that aren't addicted to things coincidentally don't happen to want them. They don't think about them all the time. That's what addiction is. Any particular substance is in your conscious mind all day long. You feel compelled. Cravings. That's a absolute indication that you're an addict. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking about it. There are people out there that just don't like sweets. Rick is one of them. He doesn't spend his day thinking about how good it would be to sit down to some pie and ice cream. Just like I don't think about all day long how good a beer would be or a mixed drink. I don't care. I don't like them. So they're never in my conscious thoughts, never in my desires. I wouldn't go 2 feet out of my way to get one, even if it was free. Even if they paid me, I'd probably turn it down. That means I'm not addicted. So again, I go back to the thing I keep trying to drum in everybody's head, and nobody cares. I can tell that because I get no views and no support. I hear everybody in the carnivore community use the word addiction, but I don't hear anybody making videos about it. And Rob Sivas, who is a carb addiction doc, his answer is sip of coffee out of a thermos as a bridge. Okay, that works for you. Doesn't work for me. I can't cheat. And I certainly don't tell myself you deserve a treat. That's the end of every successful diet. The end of every successful diet that's ever happened in this world. Because there's like a 99% recidivism rate for people who set a goal weight, which is another mistake, and reach their goal weight, declare victory, go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, which unbeknownst to them, in 6 weeks' time, they will not be able to fit into anymore. Tell me if that doesn't sound familiar to so many of us, me included. Declare victory, pat themselves on the back, give themselves a little round of applause, and decide at that moment they deserve a treat. They deserve a treat. And by God, took me a year. I lost those 75 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. I deserve a reward. And they go out and say, well, I'm just going to do this once, but I'm going to eat all that stuff I've been denying myself. And that's the end. Body gets one taste of that stuff. The addiction's, bam, full on back. And you start rationalizing again and decide, oh, maybe I'll just do this the second day. I deserve it. And it's over. And in 6 weeks, the clothes don't fit anymore. So the moral of that story, my friends, is don't throw out your old clothes. Put them away somewhere for a couple of years. Chances are you're going to need them again. And that's addiction. So there's a little something other than complaining, a little, hopefully, insight, hard learned, lessons that were hard learned by me. Yeah, Tammy Batar just Cyrus drinks margaritas and uses Crystal Light to make them. Yeah, you got to give up. If you're addicted to sugar, which there are differences in the carbs, but the sweet taste is a trigger. So why would you want to use artificial sweetener? That has Diet Coke has ruined more lives than about anything. If you give up the sweet taste, if you stop eating sweet foods, what sweet foods did the cavemen eat? They didn't have once a year for a few weeks. They had maybe some sour berries. They never had sugar bombs like we have today. That's why that taste is so triggering. Because when our ancestors were starving and they found that bit of sugar and it was survival food, they had to be compelled to just eat till there was no tomorrow, as long as they didn't eat all of it. And it was still there, keep eating. And that's what addiction is when it relates to food or carbohydrates. At any rate, I had enough ranting and raving today. I'm sorry about the stupid split screen deal today. We will never do that again. For those of you that got the cell phone version, I'm sorry for the fact that things are screwed up all over your screen today, because it's not designed to split a window like I split a window on purpose. It's designed for each head to be in its own window, and not for people who have their own studios and ways to make different scenes appear. It's going to basically only show you what's in the middle of the screen. So we're going to stop doing that. Again, I'm sorry about it. It was a failed experiment, but I hope you all got a little something out of this little something out of this stream anyway. I got to rant a little bit. Yes, sir. Rant Man made an appearance and talk about reality. I don't know when I'm going to change my channel name. I may wait till after the first of the year to do it. I need to do a little research and to see what ramifications or complications it may cause. I don't think it will, but because I did change my name from Old Guy in the Drone to OldGuyCarnivore, but I think it's time for me to be proud of who I am and use my name as a channel name, like so many other people, in fact, the most successful, not maybe the most successful YouTubers, but at least the majority of successful YouTubers. I know that Mr. Beast doesn't use his name. PewDiePie doesn't use his name. But Joe Rogan does use his name. So there you go. And Tucker Carlson and the rest of them. All right. let's wrap it up. Get on with the day. And I will see you all tomorrow night, 7:00 p.m. for the channel members community and panel, and we'll see. And we'll talk about everything under the sun, probably including carnivore. But I think the carnivore thing, honestly, it's just been a little overdone here on YouTube. And I need to say, Mitch Weiss, also carnivore. Spanky says, bye all, be safe, have a fantastic day. Says Tammy Picharge, thank you, Tammy. And Rick says, thanks for helping adjust my new stereo with your live stream. My pleasure, Rick. Anytime I can help, you know that. Lewis is here. Hi, Lewis. How you doing? Yeah, Lewis, you use your name. I think we ought to use our name. Jerry says, Tom Mitch, have a great show today. Thank you. CB Carmack. Mitch, wise guy. Wise, thank you. Thank you, CB. Good to see you. Peter's here. I always tell everyone that I ate tons of fat, and all I did was to make me fit and healthy. Yeah. And they look at you like you got 3 eyes. One right in the middle of your forehead. Oh, well. So, that'll do it. As the music comes to an end, the magic words, take the rest of the day off. See you Wednesday morning. In the meantime, eat meat.